In order to solve this system of equations, we want to compare both of them to look for a variable that's easy to cancel out. I can see here that I have negative 9y in both equations. So if I multiply any one of these equations by negative 1, that will change my negative 9y to a positive 9y and will eliminate the y's because of it. So this first equation is going to change. It's going to become negative 1 times negative 2x, which is a positive 2x, negative 1 times negative 9y, which is a positive 9y, equals, and negative 1 times the negative 25, which is a positive 25. You have to make sure that that negative 1 gets multiplied by all three terms in that equation. The second equation we didn't change at all, so we're just going to rewrite it as is. Now that we've changed the first equation, we can see that by adding these two equations together, the y terms are going to eliminate themselves. Next, I'm going to add the x terms together, but in reality, I'm subtracting because the signs are different. So I get a negative 2x equals 25 and 23 also have different signs, so I'm going to subtract and get 2. And then last but not least, in order to get x by itself, I'm going to do the opposite of the current operation, which is multiplying. So the opposite of that is division. Whatever you do on one side, you got to make sure you do the same thing to the other. This leaves me with a positive x equals negative 1, but I'm not finished yet because that only gives me half of an answer. I'm looking for a coordinate, and right now I've only found the negative 1 coordinate. I need to still go back and find the y coordinate. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you take this value and you go back and plug it into one of the original equations. So I'm going to go back and plug it into the negative 2x minus 9y equals negative 25. When I plug in this negative 1, I want to make sure I use parentheses so I don't lose anything. So I'm going to have negative 2 times negative 1. I'm going to bring down the minus 9y equals negative 25, and now I'm just going to solve for y. I can see that negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2. Again, bring down the minus 9y equals negative 25. I'm going to move the positive 2 to the other side of the equation by doing the opposite operation, which is minus 2. That gives me a negative 9y equals, these are both negative, so I'm going to add them together and keep the sign. And then last but not least, I'm going to divide by negative 9, and I'm going to get y is equal to a positive 3. So now I know that my coordinate, or my solution to this system, is negative 1, 3. That is where these two lines intersect.